Today is November 14, 1987, and we're here in the unincorporated Polk County community of Likens, which is 2 miles south of the Polk County Courthouse in Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. We are here to witness history. Mr. John Cobb of St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, has walked between every courthouse in the state of Wisconsin except for the Polk County Courthouse. On a previous trip to the Barron County Courthouse, he walked through this community, and this afternoon he will make the final lap of 2 miles from Likens to the Polk County Courthouse, and that will complete his tour of every courthouse in the state of Wisconsin. A group of people has assembled to take part in the final walk and will join John on this trip. Gentleman by the name of, what is your name?
I don't have a name.
You don't have a name.
I'm loveless.
Well, what are you doing here today?
I'm walking.
And where are you walking to?
I'm walking all the way to the Balsam Lake Courthouse.
And where are you walking from?
I don't know, a place called Likens, but nobody knows where it is.
And why are you doing this?
It's just silly.
Do you have any special comments to make today?
This is the gentleman here that is going to be walking to Balsam Lake, leading the parade.
What is your name?
Ivor Cameron,
And where do you live, Mr. Cameron?
St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin.
And what is your occupation?
I am employed by the First National Bank, Executive Vice President.
And how old are you?
I am 44. 44. My birthday was February 27th, so...
And why are you here today?
Well, it's a beautiful day, and I chose this day to walk with John because it's not raining, it's not snowing, it's not sleeting. It's just a beautiful day to walk with John.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On vocal too?
It's on vocal, too.
This is Likens. You know where Likens is? Yay, Likens.
And what are you doing here in Likens? Pair of beautiful looking gentlemen. First to you, of all, the one with the beard, what's your name? You don't know your name? And what about you with the cap on? What's your name? And what are you doing here today? Well, that's great. Have you known Mr. Cobb very long? And what sort of a gentleman is he? And he does that voluntarily? I see. And where do you get this coffee from Mr. Cobb? And where is that? Do you have any special comments to make about Mr. Cobb's trip today?
Well, I wouldn't care to put him on the camera.
I see. Well, thank you, Mr. Junker. Name? And where do you live?
I live in the city of Likens.
And are you a friend of Mr. Cobb's? Well, how long have you known Mr. Cobb? And do you have any special comments that you'd like to make today about John's achievement in the field of walking?
I think it's tremendous.
Well, sure we got it. And what's your name?
I'm Audrey.
And do you know Mr. Cobb?
Of course I have talked to Mr. Cobb.
And obviously you know him on a kind of a kissing basis. Is that right? And how long has this been going on?
Actually, I came from Alaska. We came down by boat to go on this trip.
I see. Do you have any special?
Winter.
Well, that's great. And what's your name? And how come you're here today, Pat? Well, that's just great. Just great. Well, thank you, girls. Name?
George.
And what's your last name, George?
Sedlacek.
How do you spell that?
I won't remember.
I don't blame you for that. And do you know Mr. Cobb?
Oh, yes. I've met him.
And how come you're here today?
Well, we just want to see the show going.
And
Start now.
yeah, okay, you're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Okay, we'll see you later, George. Thank you. And here they go. They're off and headed for Balsam Lake.
Well, I sure hope that you don't have to take this with canoeing. Get ready.
Back with the cheese.
Your name?
My name's Linda Cobb. I'm John's daughter-in-law.
Well, great. How about that guy behind you? Who's he?
This is his son.
Is that right?
You can tell by the trim figure, he's a walking specimen of John.
This is one of the fine rural
One of those million-dollar trees.
homes that you see on this beautiful road from Lycans to Balsam Lake. Truly one of the finer residential areas in the state of Wisconsin and of the whole United States. Now approximately 3/4 of a mile out of Lycans, and already we're coming into the area where we can get our first view of the beautiful Wisconsin community of Balsam Lake. Balsam Lake is not only famous for being the final goal of Mr. Cobb's last county seat walk, but it is also famous as being the smallest county seat in the state of Wisconsin, and also being the only village, to our knowledge, that has a red water tower. We are finally at the Balsam Lake city limits. And do you think it'll help? I don't think it'll help Balsam Lake much if you straighten that out, Rodney. And here's everybody coming up on us already.
Right. Who is this with the camera?
Howdy, Calhoun.
Howdy, Bruce.
You got him. Got him coming down the aisle.
Hi. That sounds great. Great trade. What's your name?
Jerry Sandriel.
And you're from the Amory Free Press?
That's right.
And how come you're out here today?
Well, want to see what John's doing.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Ran a story on it this week, and I talked to some of my friends down the southern part of the state who did the story on him in the Jefferson Banner Journal.
Uh-huh.
And, it's a pretty unique experience.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, thanks for coming over and covering it this afternoon.
Okay, well, gonna hurry up.
There are some ways of getting around that are much easier than walking. It doesn't sound like those people are enjoying their walk, does it? Here we are at the Polk County Courthouse in Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. And you're Judge Erickson, right? You bet. And you're the circuit judge here in Polk County? Well, that's just great. And you came out here and gave up of your Saturday at home to greet John when he arrived on his final courthouse trip, right? Oh, that's great. And thank you so much, Judge, for showing up.
My pleasure. Did they get here already? Looks like they're on their way, Chester. Oh, well. I didn't.
And again. How did you get here from Lycan so fast, Chet?
Oh, you mean from downtown?
Yeah. You didn't cheat a little bit, did you?
Huh?
You didn't cheat a little bit, did you?
A little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Bryce, all of the records?
Waiting for John and the crew to show up. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about the courthouse. When was this built?
Well, it was decided to be built in about 73, and I think it was completed in 74, and I think the first people moved in probably yet in 74.
And where was the courthouse before this new one was built?
Well, that's downtown Balsam Lake, of course, and you might recall the issue was whether to build on to that old courthouse or to make a new one, and fortunately they decided to come up with a brand new courthouse, and so we're way ahead of many other counties as far as facilities for courts and governmental offices. So we're proud of it. It's more than 10 years old, but it's still a fine building.
Okay, fine. Well, thank you much, Judge. Here they come.
John?
And there's John finally arriving at the courthouse.
Day of November, 1987, upon your arrival here at the Polk County Courthouse in Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. We're all very proud of you and your unique achievement. Please accept our best wishes for your continued health and happiness in the many years to come.
After my 5 years now, I can have my heart attack and die.
Because of your last 5 years, that won't happen. Well, what a genuine pleasure.
What's your name?
My name is Diana.
And where do you live, Diane? And did you join John in his walk this afternoon?
Yes, I did in downtown Lincoln.
And how did the walk go for you?
Very good. Very enjoyable. Nice people, nice company.
And what did you think of the entire occasion this afternoon?
I thought it was wonderful. And I'm really proud of John Cobb.
Thank you very much, Diane.
You're welcome.
And where do you live, Jim? And you took the whole walk today, too? Today. And how did it go? No sore feet or anything? Well, good for you. Thank you, Jim.
My name is Phyllis Sidlach.
And you know John?
I have known John forever.
Oh, that's just great. What did you think of the walk today?
It was just beautiful. It was so much fun to be with people I haven't seen for so long.
Oh, that's great. And thank you so much, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
Home of Jerry and Ann Brettel of St. Croix Falls. And they brought the motorhome over here to the courthouse so that all the walkers could get in and hop a ride back to their cars back in Lycans. John, now that it's all over, what do you have to say about it?
Glad it's done. All 72 of them are now done. You heard that I just had a call down at the courthouse from President Reagan, and he sent his congratulations to me and to all the people in Polk County.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that was awfully nice of him. Are you on a close personal speaking basis with the president?
But not with Nancy. She refused to speak.
I see. John, when did you first start this walking?
April of '83,
And
years ago.
whatever gave you the idea to do this?
I think some crazy brother-in-law of mine talked me into walking one time.
Is that right? He must have been crazy.
Right,
Well, John, you have an envelope in your hand,
right.
and what is that?
This is what Judge Erickson gave me at the courthouse.
Now, what significance does that have?
Each courthouse that I walked to, I got a letter from the courthouse.
And so you have one of those letters from every courthouse in Wisconsin.
72 of them, right.
Who do you get to sign those letters at the courthouses?
Any office that I go to, it'll write one for me.
John, now that this is over, what are your plans for the future?
I'm not making any definite plans till when I get back in April, when I'll see.
How old are you right now, John?
69, I'll be 70 next month.
And what date next month?
15th of December, 1980.
Are you planning possibly to take additional walking tours in the future?
I'll always try and walk, but I'm not sure about walking tours.
Well, John, thank you so much. This has been a great day, and congratulations.
Because I knew that he couldn't make it from his.
18.5 points. The company has approved an $85 a share buyout bid by a British firm. And Reynolds Metals, which owns 40